Waste not, want not. Today we're making no waste flying geese. This is a really great method for making flying geese because you get 4 units in one go. To figure out what size you need to cut, we need to know our finished size. I'm going to be making a flying geese unit that is 2 inches by 4 inches finished. So to figure out the goose, I need to take that width, which is 4 inches, and add 1 1/4. So I've cut a 5 1/4 inch square. And then for my sky fabric, I need to add 7/8 inch to the height. So I'm going to make 2 7/8 inch squares there. I cut 1 of the goose fabric and 4 of the sky fabrics. Once I've got all the pieces cut out, I'm going to mark the wrong side of the small squares in half once diagonally like this. I'm going to take 2 of the small squares and lay them on our larger goose fabric. And I'm putting them opposite each other in these corners, making sure that line lines up, that's even right to the edge. And then I'm just going to take a few pins and secure them this direction, just so I don't risk running over any pins while I sew. A lot of the times with smaller blocks, you don't have to pin these, but this one's definitely a size we'll want to. There we go. And now I'm ready to sew. I have a 1/4 inch foot on my machine. If you don't, just go ahead and mark a 1/4 inch from that marked line. But since I've got that foot on, I'm just going to line the edge up right to my marked line and sew down either side. Whenever I get to that intersection, I just make sure it all feeds evenly under my foot. And then I flip to the other side. See here, it's trying to ruffle a little bit, so I'm gonna put my needle down. Just kind of even everything back out, and then sew. Then I take the pieces and cut them apart. Then I'm going to I'm going to press it open. So I've set my seam, and then I'm just going to take the little background square, press it that direction, and do the same with the other one. Get all nice and set. So I'm going to repeat that pressing with the other one. And it creates almost like this little fox head shape. Once you've got that little fox head, take one of your marked squares and put it over the goose fabric at that point. So that diagonal line we drew comes up through those ears. Got a whole bunch of little woodland creatures in this unit, don't we? Then we're going to take and pin again like we did before. Just a quick little pin. And then we're ready to sew. Just like we did before, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from that marked center line. As I approach the ears, I especially want to watch and make sure that my needle is going to come through exactly where those 2 fabrics depart. That just helps make sure it's nice and even on the other side. And you can flip at this point if you're really comfortable with making sure those 2 line up. But you can also just start back at the beginning like we did from the other side. But let's just pop it under there. Repeat those last 2 steps with the other fox head, and then we're ready to cut it apart. So I've got this one. I'm going to cut it right apart on that marked line. And I'm ready to take it over to the pressing board. I'm going to set the seam, and then I can take it up. And I've been pressing to the sky with these. I'm just going to do that same thing here, especially making sure I don't leave any tucked under. Alrighty, and there I've got my little flying geese unit. Repeat this step until you have 4 flying geese units. I hope you've had fun making these, and thanks for watching.